and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me.
Sanbanani bantwana bedlozi, bantwana bamakhosi. Today's video ngifuna ukusiza kakhulu laba abathi they feel disconnected to imimoya yabo, particularly the water spirits. Okay, so today we're going to talk about rekindling your spiritual connection, right? Overcoming dry spells and deepening your relationship with your water spirits. Okay, guys, this is the moment or phase where you feel disconnected to your water spirits, right? La uyayuzwe khona ukuthi awusayizwa that tingling sensation, usuhluleka ngisho ukuphahla, uhluleka nje ukwenza izinto eziningi, you spiritually drained. Okay, we're going to go deeper into those things and when I'm trying to explain that. Okay, let's talk about this because many people go through this. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it something that is permanent? Is it temporary? You know, you need to understand all of those things because abantu abaningi babhekana nesimo esikanje and umuntu masebone lahlekelwa yithemba, right? So in this video, I just want you to have a better understanding or a deeper understanding ukuthi isimo esikanje suke senziwa yini. Right? So the points I'm going to try and cover in this video, uguti yini kahle kahle is spiritual dry spells. What are spiritual dry spells? Sorry. And what are the causes of ama dry spells, right? So you need to understand uguti yini noguti idalwa yini, okay? And how do you see that you have disconnected with your water spirits? Okay, ukuthi uzobona kanjani ukuthi leyo connection obunayo nemimoya yakho ayusayizwa, awusayifeel, right? Ama signs akhona. And then I'm going to also talk about how do you reconnect with your spirits, okay? Uzokwenza njani ke manje ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi uphinde nihlangane nemimoya yakho, niphinde niconnect as leyo nto obunayo before. Okay, and how do you deepen your relationship with your spirits? Uzowenza kanjani ukuthi ke ubudlelwano bakho nemimoya yakho yabona nibumbane, nibe into eyodwa, kungabi khona into ezongena phakathi kwenu. You know, that is why I'm saying how do you deepen your relationship with your spirits? So understand ukuthi uqinisa kanjani ubudlelwano bakho nemimoya yakho. Okay, so I hope it helps because baningi abantu asebebhekene nesimo esikanje abahlale bengi WhatsApp amanye they send me emails ababhekene nesimo esikanje. So I really it's going to help a lot of people ababhekene nesimo esikanje because at the end of this video I'm hoping that nizo understand ukuthi spiritual dry spells are normal and temporarily, okay? They are not something permanent. Into eyenzakalayo idlule because ikusuke kuyisimo esithize esenza ukuthi ube nama spiritual dry spells, right? And self-reflection and growth is essential, are very essential kule phase le, all right? And also practical tips can revive a connection yako, where I'll be giving you tips on how you're going to revive your connection with your spirits. And also patience, trust, and mindfulness abalulekile kakhulu with the process, okay? Because yonke into osukuyenza, you need to be patient, you need to trust into yenzayo and be mindful with whatever that you're doing. So kubalulekile kakhulu ukuthi when you're going through all of that, remember those three, okay? And then also it's deepening your relationship, right? It requires a commitment. Okay, so end of this video, sorry, you need to understand that deepening your relationship with your spirit, it requires a commitment because you can't do into, you commit yourself to 1, 2, 3, whereas uzotusu to 1, 2 and you're done, you're tired, you discouraged and all of that. So you need to understand, you need to commit yourself. Lento sugusuzoyenza, know very well which you need to commit yourself because at the end of the day, it's gonna assist you with process lo sugusuyenza. Okay, so firstly, it's understanding ama dry spells. What are dry spells? Because I know the term of dry spells, kunabantu abangazi ukuthi what am I talking about. Okay, dry spells ila khona when you feel you don't feel a connection yako anymore with your guides, with your spirits, with your ancestors, with your higher self, it seems distant, or you don't feel it at all. Yabon, you don't get that spiritual sensation anymore, look, that tingling effect, ukubodla, yearning, zamula, and so forth. Right? Akusenzeki kulokho kuwena kuthuli, you don't feel that anymore. Okay. Or our spiritual experiences have decreased, or they've disappeared. Kade mhlambe uba nezibonakaliso, ubona izinto ezithize, but suddenly it's just shut down. You don't see anything. Sometimes maybe ubuyizwe presence yabantu abadala or your water spirit. Uzwe mhlambe ezindlebeni, uzwe with the, that feeling in your body, which there is a spirit present. Somehow this time it has disappeared, or it's decreased. Those are dry spells, okay, where you feel emotionally drained. You feel detached to your higher self, to yourself, okay. La ongasazwa khona, those are all dry spells, right? Ukuthi isuke ubhekene naleso simo leso esikanjalo, where you suddenly feel spiritually disconnected, right? So how do you see that you are experiencing dry spells, okay? Uyaye ube nenkinga when you're trying to pray or meditating. You're having that difficulty in praying. You're having difficulty in meditating. You're having difficulty in focusing, and lack of motivation. You're no longer motivated to do any spiritual practices. Okay, awusa feeling at ungahamba uyokhuleka uyophahla. You don't feel like going to the waters anymore. Unalokho nje, you're no longer motivated to do any spiritual rituals, anything that has to do with izinto zemimoya. La uzizwa khona ukuthi you're just tired, you're emotionally drained, you're just tired, okay? And feeling disconnected from nature and other water sources, right? Njengoba dingisho manje ukuthi awusa feeling, even if you're going to the river, if you're going to the sea, noma empophomeni, awusa feeling nje leyo connection. When you are there, you feel empty. Ufika uhlale mhlambe empophomeni. Before, when you usempophomeni wawuzwa usindelwa amahlombe, heavy shoulders, you get that tingling sensation, but no more. When you're going to empophomeni, or you're going to the river or olwandle, you don't feel anything. You don't feel the connection. Yabon, kuthuli, you feel like no one is listening to me. Okay, so lapho usu experience wona the dry spells, right? And then what can I say? Reduced intuitions. Awusafili lutho anymore. You're not getting those intuitive feelings, thoughts, messages. Awusafili lutho nje wena. Akusafiki nje kuwena, awusayizwa naleyo mlayezo leyo eyayikuyizwe before. What else can I think of? Increased self-doubt, right? This is the most worst part of a sign of you are experiencing a dry spell. La osuku nama self-doubt khona. Awusazithembi, yonke into boyenza awusazi noma it's your own thoughts or inkulumo from your spirit. Usunokuzidoubt nje uzingabaze, and in a point ukuthi you starting not to act on anything le osukuyicabanga. Yabona, when you're having those self-doubts, ukuthi yonke into eyenzakalayo noma ngabe it's a thought or a feeling, you don't trust ukuthi it's actually something eqhamuka kwispirit sakho, it's a sign or it's a communication. You doubting yourself ukuthi no, maybe this is just my thought. Yabo, usuke nama self-doubts kakhulu ke when you go through ama dry spells. Okay, let's look at what causes the dry spells, right? Okay, asibone ukuthi ngingaqala ngani. Life changes, okay, and all transitions. Also, emotional blockages or unresolved issues. It can also be mental or physical exhaustion, talking about self-doubts, fears, stress, anxiety, depression. It can also be changes in your spiritual practices or routines, right? And it can also be external influences, right? Such as environmental, relationship, and all of those things. When you're talking about life changes, right? Let's say mhlambe kukhona ushintsho lukhona in your life. Let me see what an example I can give. Or maybe you found another job, okay? umsebenzi wakho usuhamba ngama-shift, right? Maybe you were unemployed, you had all the time ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi uhlale uconnecta with imimoya yakho and all the time, but suddenly you found a job. That's a life change. Usuthola umsebenzi and umsebenzi wakho, it goes on shifts perhaps, and it's something that is new to you, right? Awusakwazi to stick to the routines and everything akade uhambisana nayo ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi uphahlele abantu abadala, uphahlele imimoya yakho yasemanzini, because I said we more focused on your water spirit. So there are life changes, usushintshile. There's a new thing now esifikile empilweni yakho. Maybe it can be permanent, as I'm talking about a job, and now isishintshe indlela yakho yokwenza okade wenza ngayo ekuqaleni, right? So now that is causing a dry spell, because indlela impilo yakho esiyiyona usuvuka hlambe before buvuka uphahle or you meditate or whatever that you used to do, and you had all the time, but this time usuvuka ekuseni ugeza uhambe emsebenzini, you come back, you're tired, you just want to eat and sleep and bath and sleep. Yabona, iroutine yakho isishintshile lapho. Okay, that's a life change engenza ukuthi kube i-cause of a dry spell. Also, when I'm talking about emotional blockages or unresolved issues, I'm talking about someone onezinto ezimhlukumezayo emotionally, right? Ezimenza ukuthi angacabangi kahle, angabe nasikhathi sokuthi enze izinye izinto ezithize ngaye. When you are emotionally drained or blocked, kunalento le ukuthi ubunothando lokwenza into ethize, but you suddenly lose interest in doing a lot of things, and some of those things also lose the interest kuzona is meditating to your spirit, it's phahla, is to connect with the spirit sakho, right? So kunalento leyo esihleli kakhulu emqondweni wakho, emotionally you disturbed, so leyo nto it causes a blockage ukuthi ungabe usakwazi ukuthi uconnect with the spirit sakho, ngoba when you are emotionally drained, you emotionally stressed, ziningi izinto lezi ezikuxakile emotionally ukuthi awusakwazi ukufocusa on izinto kade uzenza before, talking about uconnecta nemimoya yakho. So ama-emotional blockages and unresolved issues nawo ayawadaya ama-dry spells, because umqondo wakho it's somewhere else. Sometimes you are used to ukhanyisa isibani, you light a candle, but you're not there emotionally, you're not there, yabona. So that loses a connection with your spirit, because they look at your emotions, they feel your emotions. So you can light a candle, but if your emotions are not there, they disconnect with you, because they can see what emotionally awukho lapho. Okay, and if you're having unresolved issues, maybe kunezinto ezithize odila nazo personally, that can cause also a dry spell, because your focus is no longer on your spirit. Your focus is kuma issues wena osuke ubhekene nawo at that present moment. This goes in line with the mental or physical exhaustion. Right? You're mentally depressed, physically depressed. Zonke lezo zinto lezo, they can be a cause of dry spells, because remember ukuthi when you're connecting in nemimoya, you have to be mentally awake, right? You have to be physically awake. So when you're mentally and physically exhausted, that's a problem, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get leo connection with the mimoya yako, because physically and mentally you're just not there, right? So loko kuyayikhoza futhi dry spell. Izinto ezinye esenza sibe mentally or physically exhausted, ama self-doubts, ama fears. You fear ukuthi kwalento engiyenzayo injani, ngikhathele mina, lento engiyenzayo ikhona yini, maybe you're depressed, ama anxieties, ama stress obhekene nakho, yonke into osukuyenza, you're mentally tired, you're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted, because kungenzeka ukuthi kade lokhu uphahla, you're going through life challenges, and yet at the same time you're trying to connect with your spirit. You're mentally and physically tired, you're exhausted, ngoba it can be that maybe you're not seeing results, yabona, of yonke into osukuyiphahlela, of yonke into osukuyicela, but you're not seeing results, and kufika la to a point where you're mentally and physically tired. And lokho, when you reach to that point, it's where usuku experience khona ama dry spells, because once usuqala usuba ne mentality ekanjalo, you lose the connection nemimoya yakho, because kumbula, once you feel like that, you lose interest in meditating, you lose interest in passion, you lose interest in going to all these water sources, because vele uyazibuza ukuthi, why am I doing all of this? Because I'm not seeing a change, I'm not seeing a difference, I'm not receiving any answers. Yabona? So ugcine usuleka i-interest ukuthi wenze zonke lezi zinto lezi. Also, changes in spiritual practices or routines, njengoba ngike ngasho before. You know, when you unama changes or nama ritual practices akho, nama routines akho, iyak affecta i-dry spell. I think I've discussed this. So ilezo zinto ukuthi ubune routine ethize, ubunendlela kade wenza ngayo, maybe bekunendlela ukuthi wena buphahla you using isibani esi-blue and white for your water spirit, or it can be you were just using isibani esi-white only when connecting to your spirit. You're just using lezo zibani kuphela without using impepho, right? And you will connect kahle with your water spirits, go right. But suddenly, usuyashintsha indlela wena osuwenza ngayo your spiritual practice. Usu-eda something else to that combo. Perhaps usu-eda impepho, okay? Perhaps usu-eda isnef. Perhaps usu-eda cigarettes, tobacco, whatever le osuku usuyi-eda kuleyo combo leyo kade uwena udonsa ngayo imimoya yakho. And suddenly that change of spiritual practices ngendlela ekade uwenza ngayo, it's gonna affect connection yakho, because it's showing that what you were doing before iyona ndlela efanele ngabe usuwenza ngayo. Where else when usushintshile kwindlela kade uwenza ngayo, you've added something, maybe akubona bashilo, maybe it's not your spirits that told you ukuthi eda into ethize. All right, maybe when through my influences of social media or bukela abanye abantu bebenza mase, you thinking that lokho wena kuzohambisana nakho nawe, kanti wena ubu right ihlambo just using a white candle and a blue candle nempepho. Because remember ukuthi ekugcineni ama spirits awafani. And indlela o connecta ngalo, and the spiritual practice or routine that you do, it should be based on indlela bona bakutshengise ngayo. Listen, eminye imimoya, they don't need a candle to connect with your spirit. Eminye imimoya, they just require you maybe an incense stick, right? Maybe of white sage or blue sage or purple sage. Maningi ama sage are particularly for water spirits, right? So as in using though, it's lacking knowledge le eyenza nibe nama dry spells, because you need to understand ukuthi owakho umumoya. Let's talk about especially le mimoya laba imimoya yemvelo, umbathwe a water spirit yemvelo. That is not your bloodline. Kumbula one thing, ukuthi umoya wemvelo, it's not aligned kwizinto zesiko, right? Whether umZulu noma ngabe iyiphi culture obelonga kuyona. Khumbula ukuthi umoya wemvelo, it's a nature spirit, umoya odaliwe, right? It's not abide by any culture. It's not awuhambelani nokwenza kwamasiko ezinto ezithize, right? Uma ngabe amaZulu nina nithi besiphahlela amadlozi ethu okanye our spirits, we use impepho, we use isibani, we use isnef, we use iboxer, we use a lot of things. But where else? This is a spirit esingekho descendant from your bloodline, right? It's pure nature, umoya wemvelo osebenza ngendlela yawo, ngoba khumbula ukuthi awuhambisani yona nesiko elithize, elabaSuthu, elamaXhosa, elaMandebele, elaMaswati, no matter what else, but wona lowo moya, you need to understand ukuthi wona awuhambelani okanye awusebenzi ngokwesiko, unendlela yawo yokusebenza. So don't think you are crazy if ever your spirits comes through, maybe through intuitions, maybe through your dreams, and mhlambe avele akuvezele a bowl with coins, right? Uzibone mhlambe usolandle with a bowl of silver coins. That's a way ispirit sakho sikutshengisa ngayo ukuthi this is how you connect with me. Maybe siphinde sikuvezele ukuthi you are in your altar la ukhulekela khona. You having your blue candle, your white candle, and a flower. It can be a lotus flower or water lilies, whatever. Ikutshengise yona ukuthi this is how you're going to connect with me. Or ubone an incense stick. Mase ubona a seashell. Intuitions will tell you, the dreams will tell you, the spirit does tell you ukuthi kufanele wenze kanjani. Kodwa wena, because you're going through culture, yonke into yemimoya, yonke into yasedlozini, ubuye uthathe uyihambiselane nani with your water spirit. Into sukuyenzela idlozi, uphinde uyithathe futhi uzokwenzela nge-same way your water spirit. Lokho ke kuyakhoza ama-dry spells because njengoba ngisho ukuthi umoya wemvelo awuhambelani nezinto zesiko. Fana noma uzohamba mhlambe uyophahla noma uyoshweleza emanzini edlozini uyocela ushwele uyokwenza iladi. Uzofika khona mhlambe uziphathele umqombothi utshwala isizulu. Uziphathele impepho, uphathele iboxer, uphathe a lot of things, okay? Nokudla kwesintu nazo zonke izinto uziphathe lezo. Uyoshweleza. It's totally different when it comes to umoya wemvelo because wona khumbula ukuthi awuhambelani nesiko. So kuwona maybe you just need to bring flowers nesibani sakho. Right? Maybe your white candle, or you don't even need isibani. You just need a flower. Right? Le asuke kutshengisa ngayo wena emaphupheni ohlala uyibona uyiphethe. You just need that flower uguqe phansi by the water sources and call upon your spirits. Ngithi yabona ngoba bona njoba ngisho abahambelani nezinto zeculture ngoba khumbula ukuthi bona ababona imoya eke yaphila engaphandle akuyona imoya ephile ngaphansi kwesiko. All right. So nalokho futhi kuyanikhozela ama-dry spells because uthatha kakhulu into yesiko uphinde uzoyi-implementa entweni zemimoya yemvelo, water spirits, izinzuza zemvelo. Angikhulumi about izinzuza your bloodline. I'm talking about the one ezemvelo lezi ezikutshengisayo ukuthi we are not blood related. Right? But however, umoya okumbathile. So loyo moya you need to understand. Funda ukuthi wona uconnecta kanjani nawo. All right? Kuze uzo avoid ama-dry spells because if uzokwenza ngokwesiko ukuthi kwenziwa kanje, you're gonna lack that communication spirit sakho because when you're not listening. Okunye when uzozwa abantu bezinzuza athi I use i-bracelet ethize or I use ubuhlalo obuthize, but wena maybe kunenye into afuna uyifake wena, right? Not a silver bracelet, not a copper bracelet, not a gold bracelet, not black beads. Mhlawumbe ufuna wenze a bundle made out of seashells. Angithi yabo? So you have to understand when ukuthi wakho umoya yini oyifunayo kuwena. So those are all parts of ama spiritual practices ukuthi understanda ukuthi wena fanele wenze kanjani to connect with your spirit. And indlela kade wenza ngayo before ebikusebenzela musu kuyishintsha umoya wakho ungakasho ukuthi ishintshe because that also causes a dry spell. Also ama external influences, we're talking about environment, we're talking about relationships. When you're talking about relationships, see, maybe a relationship with your family, okay? Kukhona mhlawumbe ukungazwani, kukhona izinto ezithize ezikhona egcine sezikuphatha kabi in terms of your family, or a relationship yona okuyona with a partner, right? Or a friend, whatever relationship osuke ubhekene nayo. Noma problems osuke ufacene nawo wena ngoba agcina affecta emotionally, angithi. So lezo zinto ezikanjalo zigcine zikhoza ama-dry spells. And also ukuthi kube khona abantu ngaphandle abazokutshela otherwise. Umuntu ak-influence with something else, ugcina usuyidoubta nawe lento yenzayo. right? Ugcina usudoubt ukuthi kahle kahle nginemimoya yini ngampela. Nalapho futhi it causes dry spells, because the minute you self-doubt yourself, the minute you listen to ama influences abanye abantu okanye nokwenza kwabanye abantu, ispirit sakho it suddenly siyaye sicasuke, because wena shuthi awusafuna ukulalela sona, usufuna ukwenza ngendlela yakho nangezinto wena osu-influencewe ngazo, or ezinye izinto osubuka ukuthi izona ezikufanele. Then that causes a dry spell, because the spirit suddenly disconnects with you, ngoba manje awusafuna ukwenza ngendlela yaso, right? Nalokho ukuthi emotionally ke relationship wise, whatever relationship, kuyak-affect, right? And bakhona abantu abake bathi bakhulume ezinye izinto ezingahambelani nangendlela yemimoya yakho, right? Umuntu azakutshela hayi enza kanje, musukwenza kanje, okay? Mhlambe uyahamba wena uyosifunela ugobelo othize ungakhethwanga ispirit sakhe mentor, akutshela ukuthi enze kanje, ak-influencer indlela yakhe yokwenza, where else sakhe spirit sona sinendlela yayo yokwenza. That causes a dry spell, because awusenzi ngendlela ofundiswe ngayo okanye utshengiswe ngayo, usuwenza ngendlela yomunye umuntu ukuthi uthi wena enza kanjani. Environment maybe ushintshe nendawo yokuhlala. I'm not going to go deeper in that. Maybe ushintshe indawo yokuhlala, maybe awusanayo indawo yo-connecta nemimoya yakho, you suddenly have that problem, okay? So those are also external influences ephinda cause ama-dry spells. Ngicela ukuma lapho when it comes to causes, because there's still a lot I want to talk about. Angifuni i-video yethu izibe enkulu kakhulu, yet I have such a short time to do this. Okay, let's go to rekindling your connection, okay? Ubuyisa kanjani i-connection yakho with your water spirits. Okay, let me see. Okay, ukubuyisa indlela kade wenza ngayo your rituals and your practices, right? Uphinde wenze ngale ndlela kade wenze ngayo, ukuphinde ulalele ukuthi kufanele wenziwe kanjani, okay? And also, if you're going through emotional problems, stress related issues, zonke lezo zinto ezikanjalo, you need to seek counseling kuze uzokwazi ukuthi deal with whatever that you are dealing with, kuze emotionally you can heal, angithi? So you need to go through counseling. It can be counseling with a therapist, it can be a spiritual therapist, it can be your spiritual mentor, or a friend, a trusted friend, or noma ngabe ubani lo wena owazi ukuthi when you talk to this person uyakwazi ukuthi ulapheke emotionally, right? So you need to do that kuze uzokwazi ukuthi uphinde ukwazi ukuthi ubuyele back to your normal senses, back to your normal self, kuze ukwazi ukuthi uphinde ukwazi ukuthi uconnecte nemimoya yakho. You need to purify and cleanse, okay? Lokho kuzosiza to remove any blockages, any spiritual ties, maybe kunemoya emibi, external spirits esiziyangenelela eyenza ukuthi mhlambe kuze kugcine seni kunale blockage, yes, that spiritual blockage, right? So you need to purify and cleanse yourself ngezindlela eziningi kuze kuzokwazi ukuthi kuphakame lo moya wakho. Should it be ukuthi to purify and cleanse yourself, you need to get umuntu ozokwazi ukuthi akulekelela akusize lapho. Let your spirits guide you ukuthi who is worthy ukuthi angakwazi ukuthi alekelele wena ezumntwana wakamoya, ukuthi akulekelele ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi akupurify and to cleanse you. Normally ke spirit sitshengisa umuntu osuke naye onaleyo mimoya leyo, right? Ozokwazi ukuthi akusize to purify and cleanse. Okay, so enye into leyo ukuthi you need to purify and cleanse ukuze ukwazi ukuthi uphinde ubuye uconnect nemimoya yakho, right? Lokho ke it goes deeper, it goes a long way, because there are many rituals on purifying and cleansing yourself. Also kuba nama products as well that you can use to cleanse and purify yourself. And also when you're cleansing and purifying, it's not only about yourself and kuphela. You need to purify and cleanse your space as well. You need to cleanse and purify your altar. La wena o connecta khona nomoya wako. leyo ndawo le, it always needs to be clean. Nawe yona yourself, you always have to be clean. You have to be physically clean, you have to be spiritually clean, right? Uyifundisa ukuthi umuntu ukuthi uyabuya wena ugezi ebusuku uyalala and all of that, uyavuka kuze kushaya ikhathi eyithize ungagezi and all of that. Zijwayeze ukuthi uvuke ekseni, uhamba ogeza, wenze yonke into yakho, bengabe uyasebenza, uvuka ugeza, uhamba emsebenzini, you come back, you cleanse, ugeze futhi again, uphinde futhi ke uhambe yolala, right? Hayi ukuthi ulala ungagezile, because umoya wasemanzini, the water spirit likes umuntu ohlanzekile. Doesn't like umuntu orepeata ingubo a number of days lokhu kuphindana nento eyodwa. You don't comb your hair, you don't take care of yourself. Those all goes with purify and cleanse yourself, right? Lokho fanele ukwazi ukuthi even yona yourself zinake zithande. Cleanse and purify yourself spiritually, physically and mentally, right? So lokho kubalulekile kakhulu, and your space and your altar ziningi ke njengoba ngishilo indlela zokuthi ukwenze lokho. Nalapho ke uma bekuthi ispirit sakho sik-lead to someone who will assist you in that, uzokutshela umuntu or guide ukuthi no, this is what you need to clean your altar, this is what you need to do to cleanse yourself, to purify your altar, to cleanse yourself. Advise perhaps ngezinto ezithize, and you go on about that. Then kuzokwazi ukuthi kuphinde kukusiza ukuthi niphinde ni-connecte ne-spirit sakho. You need to spend quality time in nature as well. Njengoba kade usuphelele uthando lokuhamba uye endaweni zemvelo, go back. Go back to that place, those places. Sebenzisa izinto ezithize when you are there. Sage, candles, izinto ezithize lezi wena owazi ukuthi if you're using this kuzokulekelela, or seek guidance. Right? Kumuntu lo osuke imoya wakho zokutshengisa yona, that person might be able to ukuthi adonse, to be able to see ukuthi spirit sakho uzokwazi ukusidonsa kanjani ukuthi niphinde nikwazi ukuthi niphinde ni-connect again. Okay? So sorry. Lokho kubalekile to spend time in nature. Uzimisele nakhona. When you are there, your mind needs to be there. You have to be physically there, you have to be spiritually there. Umqondo wakho yonke into must be there. Your emotions must be there, right? Kungabi khona lutho ezokudistracta or ezokudisturba i-presence yakho endaweni zemvelo, all right? And it also helps to have a journal, okay? It can be your daily journal, it can be your dream journal. La uzobhala khona izinto eziningi, okay? Because fanele ubuke i-progress. Because i-journal iyasiza when you journalizing whatever experiences that you're going through. Because ekugcineni, when there's a change in your life, you are able as well. Because when you're revisiting your journal, uyakwazi ukuphinda ubone ukuthi I went through this. Okay, and then now I'm going through this. You see a change in your life, and usukusuwazi ukuthi okay, ngake ngabhekana nesimo esikanje, and ngaphinde ngasilapha kanjani leso simo, as difficult as it was, right? So ezinye izinto ziyasiza ukuthi when you going through ama phases athize, journalize ezinye izinto uyibhale phansi. When you having amaphupho, ngoba let's say you're going through the purification process and the cleansing, right? The spending time in nature, and you've went through counseling, you doing ama rituals akho, nama practices akho. You have to journalize all of that, right? Because ekugcineni kuzokusiza ngoba khumbula ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi when you're going through an experience, ugcina ukhohle ukuthi hey ngake ngafindlula kwisimo esikanje before, yabona, ngake ngaba kwisimo esikanje before but ngadlula kusona, yabona. So it helps ukuthi ezinye izinto uzibhale phansi ngoba ekugcineni ziyokusiza one day, right? And also ukuthi ubhale phansi amaphupho akho. There's so many messages that goes through emaphupheni akho. Sometimes uzoba nalokho ukuthi ukhohlwe. Kanti if uzophupha into and your spirit wakes you up at that certain time, take your dream journal, ubhale phansi. Lelo phupho ubhale phansi lelo phupho. In time that dream will make sense. ngoba lisuke line message ethize elisuke liletha kuwena. So when you're going through let's say process of rekindling with your connection with spirit sakho, always have a journal. Your dream journal, your daily journal, ukuze ukwazi ukuthi zonke izinto that is happening, even if you going through izibonakaliso, bhala phansi ngikwenzela ini ungakhohlwa, ngoba mase kukhona into ethize esuke siyenzeka in your life that's reflecting back to your dream, that's reflecting back to isibonakaliso sakho, that dream or isibonakaliso, it did give you a solution, yabona, ngoba ezinye izinto bakutshela zingekenzeki. So it's very important ukuthi ube ne dream journal, ube your daily journal as well. Le daily yakho, it's also where you're going to put ama visions as well. Izibonakaliso zakho that you have. It's also where you're going to put izinto that you're feeling on a daily basis, the spiritual experiences and everything. Okay, so abanye abantu baye babuza ukuthi where do you get, I don't know much. In my shop I have dream journals and ama journals. So maybe perhaps if you're going through Gwindawo, ama prayer shops, spiritual shops, they might have. So I'm not quite sure much where you can get those. Or abanye, they just take a book. Abanye, they like dream journals because it's set up ngendlela eyiningi, right? Okay, so moving forward, what else can I think of? Seeking guidance, bantwana bedlozi. Yabona mase ufuna to rekindling with your connection nomoya wako, seek guidance. Akulalele ukuthi who can guide me, who can help me, who can mentor me kwi process ekanjena in connecting with the moya wami. Ezinye izinto, they're not all about you trying to resolve a situation obhekene nayo, because when you might be trying to resolve a situation but you're seeing yourself going back and forth because you repeatedly doing the very same thing. Kanti bekhona omunye umuntu ozoguide, uzokwazi ukuthi ubone ukuthi okay, shuthi iphutha lami ekuqaleni beli kanje, now I'm doing things the right way. When you're also seeking guidance, it's also assisting with lo muntu mhlambe uzokulekelela kwizinto ezithize ekufanele uzithole in order for you to reconnect with your spirit. So it's important to seek guidance kwezinye izinto. If ubona nawe ukuthi I'm trying but I'm failing, I'm trying but ngizibona ngiphinda into eyodwa and I'm not seeing a change in my life, don't be afraid to seek guidance, because at the end of the day, that is where abanye abantu abaningi they even get suicidal thoughts, because umuntu suke izamela yena ethi uyazama but they are failing. So in situations like that, khuleka ucele ngisho uNkulunkulu ukuthi akusize akulekelele in getting you someone who will guide you through izinto eziningi, ngoba it can be ukuthi when usuyazidoubt, you have those self doubts ukuthi ngisho kuthi umoya wakho uyakhuluma but you don't trust anymore ukuthi kusa umoya wakho ukhuluma, you might be thinking it's your own thoughts. So when you're seeking guidance, it helps you ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi lo muntu akutshele athi no, imoya wakho lo okulethela imessage kanjena, it's not your thoughts, it's not your own thinking, but it's a message, yabona. And then that's where you revive back yourself, your self-esteem, uyeke ukuzidoubt in all of those things. So sometimes it's important to seek guidance. Ungalokhu uzitshela ukuthi mina ngumntwana wamakhosi, mina ngumntwana wenzuza, mina I don't do this, I don't do that. But sometimes you do need guidance, because at the end of the day iyona lento yenza ukuthi abantu bagcine bangaphumi ekuxakekeni, because banele mentality ukuthi I'm not supposed to do 1 2 3 4, where else there are situations in life where you need to seek guidance, but from a trusted person, from a trusted source, from something that oyilalelile nawe oyizwayo ngaphakathi ukuthi I need to seek guidance from this person or a particular source. All right. Also practice self-care, bantwana bedlozi, and emotional well-being, right? Zinakekele njengoba ngike ngasho, zithande nawe, izinto ozibonayo ukuthi zikuphula umoya, izinto ozibonayo ukuthi azikuphathi kahle, try and do away from those things. And people obabona bangakunika ukuthula empilweni yakho, isolate yourself from those people, distance yourself from lezo zinto lezo. Into sukuyibona ukuthi empilweni yakho instead ukuthi kulethela injabulo, ikulethela usizi neinkulumo nokukhuluma nokuzibona ungenakho ukuthula, then distance yourself from all of that. Yabona? Zinakekele, right? Ungalokhe uhlala entweni oyibonayo ukuthi ayikuyisele ndawo. For you to reconnect with your spirit, move away from izinto ezingakuyisa indawo. Move away from abantu abangakuyisa indawo, abantu who are always drain you. Right? So phuma kulezo zinto ezikanjalo so that you can reconnect with your spirits. Kuze uzokwazi ukuthi uphinde be yourself again. Yabona? If kukhona into or abangani or umuntu or whatever abanye abantu obusubaqalile and you suddenly seeing ama-dry spells, then move away from that. If ukade usuqala ungasayinakekeli, not taking care of yourself, change your mentality. Awubuyele back ekuzithandeni, awubuyele back ekube nethemba and all of those things, right? Kuze uzokwazi ukuthi ubuyele back ukuconnect nespirit sakho, uzithande, uzinakekele, unganaki izinto engezikise phambili, that's where it's going to help you to reconnect with your spirits again. And when you're going through rekindling process of the connection with your spirit sakho, patience, nokuthemba, trust is very important, because at the end of the day, whatever that you are doing, fanele ube nethemba lokuthi lento engiyenzayo, it's gonna help me, it's gonna assist me ngeindlela eziningi, ngizophinde ngiconnect nespirit sami kuphinde kube yile ndlela kade kube yona. And you have to be very patient. You can't be saying, I'm going to go back into doing ama-rituals ngendlela kade ngenziwe ngayo, or I've been guided ukuthi ngenze kanje, and you're thinking you're going to do that 1, 2 or 3 days, then you're done. This requires patience, right? And understanding at the same time ukuthi lento oyenzayo, it's gonna benefit you at the end of the day. So zinikeze isikhathi. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the process that you're doing, be patient with the spirits that you're trying to reconnect with, because at the end of the day ziningi izinto kade ziblokile ukuthi ningabe niconnect ngendlela ekuyiyona yona. So if you are being guided, right, ukuthi you have to go maybe through a 7-day process of doing this and this and this and that, then you have to be patient in those 7 days. And nakhona kuleyo 7 days, don't expect ukuthi after 7 days I'm suddenly going to see this. Okay? There are many things ey'suke isazokwenzeka ezisazolandela, and khumbula ukuthi our spirits are not the same. Khona omunye onespirit esisheshayo, right? Angathi bekuthiwa they are going through a 7-day process or a 3-day process or a 5-day process. On day 1 they connect. Okay? Omunye ungaphela lawo 7 days, uphele lawo 14 days, and then only you getting dreams, right? So you need to be patient with the process that you're doing, so that uzokwazi ukuthi ubone ukuthi uyasizakala yini, yabona? Because at the end of the day, imimoya ayimdingi umuntu osuke wenza iprocess ngoba you want to benefit something. You need to do that reconnection just because you just want to connect back with your spirit. Not ukuthi usucayekile, usufuna imali, usufuna all of that, usufuna all that glitz and glam. No. You need to do into ngoba uzazi ukuthi I feel bad, I'm not connecting with my spirit anymore, and because of these reasons 1, 2, 3, you need to be pure at heart futhi when you're wanting to connect with your spirit. So that is why patience is very important, because if you want to connect because you're wanting to gain something at that moment, it's not going to happen ngendlela wena usukufuna wenza ngayo. Sizoqale sikwenzise izinto ispirit esithandwa yiso before you even reach lento wena osuke ufuna ukuthi yenzeke empilweni yakho, right? So khumbulani futhi at the same time imimoya yethu ayifani, nangendlela yenza ngayo ayifani. Eminye iyashesha njengoba ngisho, eminye ayisheshi ngalendlela ekusuke nakhona kuya ngededication yakho ukuthi wena uzimisele kanjani kulento oyenzayo. Okay, so understand that. Also, what can help you to reconnect your spirits, that is very, very important, is meditating. Meditating, bantwana bedlozi, it helps a lot with the connector nemimoya yakho. There are many ways to meditate. In doing that, also you need to seek guidance. Ukuthi, how do you go about doing meditating? Remember, not all mentors bayakwazi to practice meditation. So you need to be very careful when you're seeking for guidance on meditating. Ukuthi ufune umuntu who is able to practice into eganjalo. Yabona ke leyo, that's one of the best to reconnect with your spirit is to meditate. Funa izindlela zokumeditator in your space, in your prayer altar, la wena uconnecta khona nemimoya yakho. Uhlale ngeposition ozokwazi ukumeditator ngayo, right? Relax kahle, quiet space, you get your sage. It's either your purple or your blue or white sage or whatever. Nale ngaleyo ndlela or bufuna another type of sage, kukuwe what you're feeling. Uqale lapho. Have ama-sources athize that's going to assist you in connecting with your spirit. If kumoya wako waselwandle, have sea water, right? And your seashells, bengabe kwakhona ama-seashells okutshengise wona, and also your sea sand. If kumoya wako wase esizibeni okanye impophomo okanye umfula, have leyo element akunikeze yona to connect with that source, right? So ziningi indlela zokumeditator. Maybe one day I can have a video, or yeah, let me just stop there. But the ziningi indlela zokumeditator, because remember, in meditation, it's designed, it's personally designed for an individual. You can't have a process eyodwa for everyone because it's different. Indlela wena ufanele connecting ngayo nomoya wakho, iyona ndlela kufanele umeditate ngayo in order for you to connect with your spirit. So that is why I'm saying it's always important to seek guidance when you're doing this, because umuntu osuke ezoguide usuke ezokwazi ukubona ukuthi esakhe spirit sikanjani okanye yakhe imimoya ikanjani, and then how is it that you're going to go about the meditation process in order for you to reconnect with your spirit. So meditation is very important, and having the right tools for meditation as well, it also assists you ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi uconnecte nemoya yakho, right? And okunye ebese ngikhohliwe, now they are just reminding me ukuthi angusho. Another thing, let me go back to my dry spells. Oh, let me not say dry spells and keep it lema dry spell. Another thing that can make you to feel that you have disconnected to your spirit, right? Enye yezinto engakwenza ukuthi ufeel disconnected to your spirit, ukuthi hayi Kulu, I'm no longer feeling that sensation anymore. I'm not longer feeling that tingling sensation anymore. I'm no longer having those heavy shoulders anymore. I'm worried. I feel disconnected with my spirit. I feel ukuthi angisanayo leyo heaviness anymore. Engangibana mkhulu ngangibhodla kakhulu before, but now okwami ukubhodla seku decreasile, angisabhodli all the time like I used to. There's a change, and I'm worried that I've disconnected. It can be that you're spiritually grown. It's a spiritual growth, okay? You have become more accustomed to the energy, right? How is that? Usukhulile kwela moya, you've aligned with your spirits. Aksekho lokhu ukuthi when you're feeling those sensation and all of those things, it's because maybe nangaka connecting ngalendlela, or your energy flow yayingakafiki to the level ukuthi lo moya usuphila kuwena nawe usuphila kungawo kuwona, you have become one. So once you reach to that level, you no longer frequently feel that that tingling sensation. You no longer feel lokubhodla frequently. Usuyabhodla nje just because wena phela unomoya ophila kuwena. Usuyazamula nje, yabona, it's not into suyenza njalo become, because now you have spiritually grown. Right? So that's one of the things that is very important. But sometimes it may not be a dry spell. Okay? Ekwenza ufeeling that you've disconnected with your spirit. You might feel you're disconnected, but you have not disconnected with your spirit. It's just that you are spiritually grown. yabona i-energy yakho isiyahambisana nabo yabo you are more accustomed to i-energy flow yakho ne-energy spirit sakho seniphila into eyodwa seninodwa into eyodwa manje you have evolved spiritually yabo so once you reach that level vele awusabi lo muntu ohlala you having heavy shoulders you having that burning feet iqolo libhlungu ringing ears and all of those things uzamula njalo ubhodla in places that you shouldn't be ubhodla all the time uphathwa ikhanda all the time that tingling sensation that it becomes so unbearable and all of this you don't know you're no longer feeling those things anymore because you have spiritually evolved. Okay, so as in izinto you need to understand. That is why I'm saying it's always best to seek guidance. Ngoba ezinye izinto you might think you felt disconnected, but you are at a point that you have spiritually evolved. Yabona i-energy flow yakho kuwena your energy flow your spiritual flow iseniphila into eyodwa nomoya wakho wena kusuke sikufanele ukwenza ukuthi ulalele intuition yakho ulalele yonke izinto eziningi lesi spirit sisuke sikufundisa sona listen to the wisdom lesi suke kufaka kuwena wena ungabe usufocus ukuthi I'm no longer feeling that I'm no longer having heavy shoulders I'm no longer having ringing ears that tingling but it's gone and all of that maybe it can be ukuthi you've evolved. That is why it's always wise to seek advice because uzothola ukuthi no you're not disconnected it's just that you have evolved spiritually yabo kune energy adjustment in you. Okay, so when asukufanele ungabisa focus ukuthi I'm no longer feeling all of that you felt that because you haven't evolved spiritually energy yakho hasn't adjusted ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi uphile nalo moya so once you adjust you evolve usuke ungasayifili zonke lezo zinto as frequent as you used to right sometimes you feel them if isuke ispirit isikuwonisha ngento ethize but when you're living your normal life you're no longer feeling all of those things right so ezinye izinto understander ungabe usufocus ekutheni I'm no longer feeling them and then you get depressed mase uluza indlela yokuthi ulalele imfundiso the wisdom ulalele the teachings ulalele the guidance and yonke into lo moya osuke usukutshela yona because usuke usuphila kuwena uphila through your thoughts uphila through everything that you are yabona suke wena suke sekufanele ulalele your higher self so wena uvela focus ukuthi I'm no longer feeling those feelings and then you think you're disconnected and you've evolved you've adjusted yabona so that's also one thing that is important that I felt that I needed to share. I'm being reminded actually, Uguti, I need to tell you that because remember, your spiritual journey is unique and precious. So embrace the mysteries, Bantana Betlos, and connect with your water spirits because at the end of the day, connection ila idingeka kubani kuwena nespirit sakho. Okay, let's go to the last point. Oh my gosh, I just saw that this video is going to be an hour now. Okay, wow. Oh, I didn't even see. I wasn't even aware that I actually had an hour free. Okay. So let's go into deepening your relationship with your spirits. Uqinisa kanjani kubudlelwane bakho with your spirit. You've now reconnected. So now uqinisa kanjani kubudlelwane bakho with your water spirit. I guess khulume about laba asebe spiritually grown, right? The last point that I spoke about ukuthi maybe you have evolved, your energy has adjusted and all of those things, right? Khumbula ukuthi wena usukwenye level spiritually, right? Because lo moya usuphila ngaphakathi kuwena seniyinto eyodwa now, right? So uqinisa kanjani kubudlelwane bakho with the spirits. Okay. You need to explore new spiritual practices shown by your spirit or shown by lo muntu ispirit sakho esikulide kuyena because sisuke sikunikezele your mentor ukuthi ak-assist in many things, right? So kuzoba nezinto the spirit will open up. Agcine sekutshela ukuthi oh okay, now normalize doing 1 2 3 4, right? Because maybe it can be ukuthi ezinye izinto you've been overseeing or unaware unganaki ukuthi there is a sign of do 1 2 3 but wena you are failing to read the signs. So that mentor is there ukuthi akwazi ukuthi yena akwazi ukuthi ahlale ekubuyisa endleleni, akwazi ukuthi akutshengise izinto lezi wena obuye ufeyile ukuthi uzibone. All right, it's just there to guide and assist you. And nakhona spirit mase sithi seniqedile ibudlelwane beninayo with your mentor, sizosho ukuthi hayi iphathi yakhe useyidlalile indima yakhe, right? Seningaba nje with a good relationship with your mentor, because at the end of the day you're not enemies, but ukuthi kube khona izinto guidance usuke uzoyithola kuyena suke sesidlulile leso stage, suke sekufanele wena sekufanele ulalele usufundisiwe ukuthi how do you listen. And that mentor izobe sikufundisile ukuthi no, ispirit communicate kanje in some instances, no beko kanjena, it's like that. Usuke sekuguidile wakufundisa wakutshengisa indlela yokuthi how do you understand your spirit, right? So kuba nekhathi la time frame la ukuthi okay iphathi yakhe useyidlalile and isiphelile, right? So lapho suke sekufanele ube independent, ungalokhe ufuna ukuthi whatever that happens ulokhu yobuza kwi-mentor yakho. Remember ukuthi is-period yakhe yena isiphelile, especially when it comes towards the spirit. So yakhe period masiphelile kusuke wena sekufanele u-adjuste and learn yonke into imfundiso kade uyitshele your mentor ifundeke ukuthi uyi-practice into your daily life, your daily routine, your life, right? So it is very important to explore new spiritual practices lawa hlampo ozovezele wona by your spirit, right? Nango also meet your spiritual mentor olethelwe ispirit sakho, ngoba ziningi izinto esuke sezizokusiza uqinisa ubudlelwane bakho with your spirit. Kunezinto ezithize esuke sekufanele uyi-explore uzenze. Perhaps you are a person okade esebenzisa into ethize, but somehow you have evolved, so awusadingi ukuthi usebenzise leyo nto leyo. Maybe you need to add something else to what you are using, or mhlambe le mpepho leyo isebenzisayo you need something else. Maybe now it's time where you have to be using blue sage or purple sage. I'm just making an example. Maybe certain water, maybe with certain oils esuke sekufanele ukuthi when you calling upon spirit sakho or when you cleansing yourself kunama oils athize esuke sekufanele wasebenzise emzimbeni wakho, okanye sekunezinto ezithize esuke sekufanele imsebenzise emzimbeni wakho, right? Maybe you need to plant imbali, a flower, a specific flower in your altar, right? And grow that plant. So that's exploring amanye spiritual practices, because you need to learn, ngoba wena usuriche kwenye level, awukwazi kulokhu uqhubeka ngendlela eyodwa, sekufanele uevolvile wena spiritual, and you've spiritually grown, you spiritually adjusted. So nangendlela yakho yokwenza suke sekufanele to go to that higher level, ukuthi sekufanele izinto eziningi ukwazi ukuthi uzenza kanjani, ngoba ekuqaleni maybe you were doing these rituals just to try and connect, to adjust and align with your system, with your spirit. Sorry, sen alignile ke ni adjustile ke now, then you need to upgrade indlela yakho yokwenza, right? Talking about those asuke sebefike the reach leyo level, all right? And also ke to normal people, ukuqinisa futhi ubudlelwane, deepening your relationship, it's to build a trust and faith in your spirit, right? Tembega, whatever that you say, whatever that you promise, whatever that you do, your spirit needs to trust you as much as you need to trust your spirit, right? So have faith all the time. Ukuthi, if I do this or if I ask for this, I will receive it, because the spirit will give you, as long as you have a better understanding, no babil, and you trust each other, especially you trust the spirit, because at the end of the day kungaba ukuthi wena ezinye izinto siyakutshengisa okanye siyakhuluma nawe but you don't trust ukuthi leyo nto leyi yona yini. So you need to build a trust and faith in your spirit, yabona, kuze nizokwazi ukuthi nihlale niqinise ubudlelwane benu, and show gratitude bantwana bedlozi. Always show gratitude. If ispirit sakho sikulethele okuhle, you must always show gratitude. Funda ukubonga, funda ukubonga ngezenzo, funda ukubonga ngomlomo. Hamba, go in your altar, offer into ethize, go into indawo zemvelo, go and offer into ethize. You can offer fruits, go and offer flowers, go and offer coins, go and offer whatever le esuke ihambisana nezinto zemimoya yamanzi emvelo. Right? Khumbula ukuthi this entire video is about the imimoya yemvelo yasemanzini, right? So understand that and learn. Seek guidance as well ukuthi how do you show gratitude into your water spirits? Ubonga kanjani, utshengisa kanjani ukubonga and all of those things. What is it that you offer? Yabo, yini offering oyihambisayo into your water spirit? Ungagcine wenza into ngokwedlozi, ngokwesiko lasekhaya ukuthi thina besibonga idlozi senza utshwala senza this. It goes something else when it comes to your water spirits. It's not the same. Okay, so you need to understand how do you show gratitude espirituini sakho. Ake sithi sikulethele umuntu okulethele ukukhanya, show gratitude, bonga, give an offering. Ake sithi sikulethele imali, it did this and this and that, bonga, funda to be grateful, funda ukubonga ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ayikho into ejabulisa your water spirit than being grateful. So show gratitude all the time, whatever big or little that the Spirit has given you, or wisdom, the teachings and everything asuke kunikeza yona, bonga. The dangers asuke aletha ngawo, bonga. Yonke into bonga. Lezi zinto asuke kuvezela zona ukuthi yo be cautious of this person, be cautious of this, don't go this route today, don't be thankful for all of those things. Show your gratitude. Iyona into ezohlale iyenza ukuthi spirit sakho sihlale siconnecta nawe because umuntu obongayo. And make commitments, bantwana bedlozi. Commit yourself. Izinto obuthenga izozenza, commit yourself. If wena uthi every month I'm going to go to the river, then commit yourself to do that. If uzothi every 3 months I'm going to go to the river or the sea, you commit yourself to do that. If you're seeing that you're staying far away from the sea, uzothi okay, every 3 months or every 6 months I'm committing myself that ngizohamba ngiyoconnecta nomoya wami olwandle. You do that. Enza ama commitments and you stick to your commitments. Iyona into ezokwenza ukuthi nihlale nizwana, iqinisa ubudlelwane bakho with your spirits. Right? And embrace your water spirits on a daily basis. Embrace it all the time. Acknowledge your spirits. Khumbula ukuthi lo moya uphila kuwena ngaphakathi kuwena. You need to embrace your spirits on a daily basis. Right? So ezinye izinto lezi kufanele niyifunde ukuthi uqinisa kanjani ubudlelwane with your water spirit. And in closing, bantwana bedlozi, when you're going through spiritual dry spells, they're not permanent. It's just a temporary thing and it's normal. How normal? Because we all go through challenges in life. I guess you're going through stress, you're going through izinto, you're going through izinto. Sometimes it's in stress, it's wasteless, you're trying to ukunakekela abantwana bakho, you're trying to nakelela your household, you're trying to take care of your family, you have a sick parent, you have a sick sibling, you have a sick child. Ziningi ezinye izinto ezenza zigcine sesingasakwazi ukuthi sinakekele izinto zethu zakamoya, because remember, we are living beings. Kunezinto ezigcine seziyi-blockage ezisivimbayo ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi siconnecte nemimoya. Those are normal things as normal human beings that we go through. Angithi? So ungayithathi le situation ububhekene nayo and you thinking it's something permanent. No. Find a way, seek guidance, find a way to get yourself out of that. Because uzokwazi ukuthi uphinde reconnect with your spirit, uphinde ukwazi ukuthi uqinise ubudlelwane nespirit sakho, right? And also allow the opportunity to grow spiritually, bantwana bedlozi. Zivumele ukuthi ukhule spiritually. Musa ukuzidoubt, musa ukuzingabaza. It's very important ukuthi lento le thought le feeling osukuyifila, le wisdom esukuyifakwa kuwena, ithathu isebenzise because it's going to benefit you, right? So it's very important to learn the strategies of ubumntwana wakamoya. How do you to learn ukuthi uphila kanjani nalesiphiwo and also live a normal life. It can become very overwhelming. I know, being a mom, being a father, being a sibling, being a granny, being a sister, being a brother, being everything, being a grandmother or a grandfather, and you spiritually gifted, and yet kunalokho futhi ofanele ukwenze, your position in the family. You understand? So I know it's not easy to adjust your daily life and spirituality, but if ukwazi ukuthi ukwenze kube part of your daily routine, it becomes very easy, right? So that is why it's always important to seek guidance ukuthi, how do I live about with this gift and also be something else at the same time, and also live a normal life. Akekho wake wathi sekufanele ishintsheke manje impilo yakho. Bazoyishintsha impilo yakho bewukuthi impilo yakho vele ubuwenza izinto ezingazinhle ezingahambisani with ama-water spirits. If ubuphila impilo engekho clean, engahambisani nabo, they will change your lifestyle. But if ubuphila impilo right, they're not going to change anything. The only change will be ukuthi wena fanele uzazi ukuthi you are spiritually gifted and you possess the water spirit, but they won't change anything. They won't even change mhlawumbe indlela ogqoka ngayo, as long as you present yourself uzithanda and all of that. They will only change your lifestyle. I repeat, if vele lifestyle yakho bekuyinto engahambelani nomntwana wakamoya. Take care of yourself, guys. Bekukhona okunye abantu abadinga some clarity on, or some thoughts that you want to share, whatever that you feel ukuthi maybe you are lacking somewhere, you can use my email address. It's Emabalabalaherbalcreations @gmail.com. All right, bye.